Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Podcast. I'm JB, and this is Chuck Nasty. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, not too bad.
Yeah,
Pretty chill.
It's good. It's really good. It's nice to hear you say not too bad. Like,
Yeah,
getting
getting back to getting myself up here instead of down here, because we are in the throes of the most depressing time of year. So if I'm up here before that shit really starts, then I should be okay.
Well, I guess so. I mean, that makes sense. That does. So, anyways, before we go ahead and jump into this, we do want to say that our good buddy Chente, who at this point in time, I mean, you can call him an asshole if you'd like to, but he got called in, so
it's not his fault. So.
It's not his fault, sure. You know, he's probably sitting back watching this at home, being like, "These motherfuckers really think I got called in."
Yeah.
But, anyways, if he is able to make it back in time, he said he will try to jump in and everything. So, you know, maybe at some point he will be joining us, but as of right now, it's just me and Chuck, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. Anyways, though, before we go ahead and get really started with everything, want to go ahead and throw out some of our sponsorships. So first off, House Mysterious Secrets. Check them over out at housemysterioussecrets.com. Use our code 4130. Save 10% on all your horror merch. Also, we got this comic book. I mean, do whatever you want to with it. I mean, literally whatever you want to it. You can go ahead and find this over at talesfromthepodcast.com. I will make sure you get a copy that Chuck did not jerk off onto. And
Unless
also,
it's just your thing, but then it's just you'll have to pay extra for that.
Yeah, I mean, then you have to pay extra. Also, if you are into wax melts, we got a sponsor for that. Check them out. The link is in the comments for everybody to check out as well. And you can save 20% over there at TFTB20. So, I mean, check them out. Go ahead. You know, pretty cool shit, that's for sure. And then last but not least, you know, check out everything we have going on over at talesfrompodcast.com. We got some cool shit, that's for sure. And David, as Pink said in her song, let's get this party started. And that is from
Korn also said
fan.
that.
Well, Pink said it first, obviously.
No, actually, it was Korn that said it first.
Are you sure?
It's probably around the same time. Let's get this party started. No, it was. Yeah, it was before her, because it was on Issues, and that was way before Pink was even a thing.
So, I mean,
so I'm just gonna throw it out there. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter. I'm just fucking kidding.
Well, I don't know. I looked it up, and they're giving a lot of credit to Linda Perry from 1992, I guess. She Linda Perry, that's 4 Non-Blondes.
Oh, okay. I know that. Okay.
I mean,
what's going on?
Right. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into this shit. So, we are in season 6, episode 11. I mean, we're getting really close to the end here, but
yeah,
we're gonna be talking about this episode called "Suprise Party," based off the comic book Vault of Horror number 37. And this original air date was December 28th of 1994. I mean, it's kind of weird the way this season's kind of correlated with the real time of like right now. I mean, we're
Mm,
not too far off from everything, but and you can see that with some of the Crypt Keeper intro stuff, like, especially this one with the skiing and shit, which is kind of cool seeing that whole like Christmas vibe, especially with the Crypt Keeper.
yeah, yeah.
But jumping into this stuff, I mean, uh, got some bigger names this time attached to it compared to some other episodes. That's for sure. We got this one was directed by Elliot Silverstein. Um, I mean, he's done a few things. That's for sure. I think everything he's did was pre Tales from the Crypt, at least as far as directing. But he did do quite a few episodes. But I know he did Flashfire. Um, the Defenders. He basically did a lot of TV stuff. I know he did stuff with the Twilight Zone. He did a few episodes of that in the '60s. Breaking Point, Route 66. So he's been around, that's for sure. I think he started directing in the mid '50s and kind of quit in the '90s, which is still a pretty decent career for doing a lot of TV shit. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The screenplay for this was done by Tom Lyons. Going back and checking out a lot of his work, it doesn't really look like he did anything but this. Like this was like his one thing that he was part of. And the other person that was attached to the screenplay on this as well was Coleman Decay, who also did not do a lot. He did a few episodes of this. He also did Nine Lives, a musical adaptation live. Harry and the Hendersons, the TV show, he did a few episodes. Didn't do a lot, and I know we've talked about him before a few times on the show. Well, with him doing 4 episodes, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But just not, I don't know, not too huge there at least. But once we get into this cast, though, you're definitely gonna start noticing some people. We got Adam Stork, Ray Wells in this. What would you say he's best known for?
Ray Wells.
Yeah. So
Which
his
one?
name was Ray Wells in the episode. His real name is Adam. He
Uh,
was he was in the Phantom of the Opera TV miniseries. That's where
oh,
I personally knew him from.
nope.
No.
No. That's probably
um he's mostly done a lot of TV stuff, to be honest with you. He did this episode obviously, but he did the Attack of the 5'2" Woman, which is one of those like raunchier '90s movies, which we had so fucking many of.
was
Um,
that who
he,
was
he
in that?
who was in the Attack of the 5'2" Woman?
Was that Kim Basinger?
That was with Julie Brown, Priscilla Barnes, Lisa Ark,
You know what? Is
Patricia
it the old one
Belcher.
you're talking about or the newer one?
The Margaret Cho was in it.
Oh, okay.
This was in '94.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember who the woman was that played the main
Hmm.
50-foot woman.
Oh well, no, we're talking about Adam Stork anyway. But he
Uh,
he did the Stand, Life Pod. Remember that TV movie Life Pod?
no,
No. How about Highway to Hell?
maybe it sounds
No.
familiar.
I think if you saw the actual picture for it, you would remember that one a little bit.
Probably.
Yeah, but I mean, just a lot of TV shit. I mean, nothing too extravagant, that's for sure, unfortunately. But he's been around, he's done quite a bit, that's for sure. We got Claire Hoke in this episode as well. Known for a lot of, I wouldn't even say a lot, really. I mean, some smaller parts. But small parts within some pretty cool movies. So, like, one episode of like Freddy's Nightmares, was a gangster in Home Alone 2, was in the movie Nights, the '93 movie, which I liked it, but I don't think that's too much of a surprise to Chuck. Um,
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Nights, you're medieval type shit.
Ah,
Yeah. Was also Lynette in Cool World though, which I know it's an unpopular opinion, but Cool World was always my favorite over like Roger Rabbit.
I was like Cool World. It's been a lot. I need to go back and rewatch that. It's been a minute.
That was that was way more fun than it ever had any fucking right to be. That's for sure.
Oh, I know.
We also got one of Chuck's favorite actors, Jake Busey, in this episode. I mean, I'd be lying if I say that on some things I didn't like him. Like, I will say there's a lot of shit he does that I just do not care about to begin with.
Right.
But I mean, he's in one of my all-time favorite movies, which is The
Right.
Frighteners.
Yeah.
He was also in The Stoned Age, if you remember that one.
I remember Stone Age. Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
like he was, like I said, he wasn't in a lot of good ones though. Like, you know, I guess he was in Starship Troopers. And I mean, The State. What else was he in? I know he did some of the.
Identity.
Huh?
Identity.
All right, all right.
That's all I
The
did.
the movie that Josh just got us told us to watch, that Hider in the House.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but The Good Guys. I mean, like realistically though, I mean, when you really break it down, he did a lot of shitty stuff too.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of shitty stuff like Freakish, Day 5, a lot of his TV shows that he was a part of. Um, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what do you expect when you have Gary Busey's blood in you? I mean, you're not going to be the greatest, but at least you can go somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
David chiming in again. Home Alone 2 has an appearance by a very young Donald Trump. Yeah,
Mhm.
yep, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I wish that would have been his last appearance. We also got
If I
right. We also got Sean Smithson joining in. Hey, Sean, how's it going, man? Hopefully you're having a good day. Nice to see you actually using your woodworking site there. Oh, look at this. Carrie. It's all about name connections. Talking about name connections, look at that last name. Ornelas. Oh, where is the name connection there? Where the fuck is Chente? Why'd he ditch us?
for work, what the hell?
Right. Call him up and be like, they're
What the
harassing me about you not being here. No. Anyways, thanks, Carrie, for joining in. We appreciate it, even though your
Yeah, definitely.
Shanty decided that he had more important things to do.
Isn't he an EMP?
We don't talk about that part of it. Because then
Okay.
it makes me sound like an asshole. I'd rather just how dare him go out and try to help people? He's sleeping. I tried waking him up. That does sound more believable, that's for sure. Anyways, we also got Rance Howard in this episode, who I think he died a few years ago, didn't he?
Which one is that? Is it the old man?
Yeah, he did die a few years ago.
Yeah, he's in a
Yeah.
lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, a ton of shit. I mean, I would be a dick if I went through his fucking movies that he did. Like, just for the simple fact I'd probably miss so many good ones. Dude has almost 300 credits. He's at like what, 284? And you know, don't get me wrong, a ton of fucking TV shit.
He's been in a lot of horror stuff.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of everything stuff. I mean, he was in Beverly Hills Chihuahua too. But he was also in, you know, like Shadowheart, Within, Angels and Demons. I mean, the dude's done. It's. I mean, basically every genre throughout many, many years. He was in Toolbox Murders, which is a pretty fun one too, actually.
Yeah.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. He was in that movie as well. The '98 Psycho film. He was in that. Oh, he was in your favorite kid movie. He was in Small Soldiers. He even did a couple episodes with Married with Children, which I was actually just watching before he came over here.
Great show.
I completely agree. I mean, god damn. I mean, this guy's legitimately done a ton of fucking shit. Just look him up. I mean, I can't go through everything. I mean, just too much. God, he was in Airplane too. Like, this is
Airplane 2? Was it just an airplane, or do you mean 2 as though he's also in that?
the second one.
Okay.
It might have been in the first one, but I didn't get that far back. I mean, you started acting in the fucking 50s, though. I mean, He was in the Andy Griffith Show. God, we don't hear that one too often when we're going through our actors. That's for damn
Yeah,
sure.
really.
Um, we got Betty Ford in this as well. She's done a few things, that's for sure.
Which one is she in the episode?
She plays Miss Peterson.
The old woman at the beginning of it.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Betty
and
Ford.
yeah,
She made the clinic.
huh?
The Betty Ford clinic. She any part of that at all?
I don't know. Maybe. No, I doubt it. She probably pretends and tells people she is, though. No, I'm joking. That's a really dick move to say about her. I don't even know her. She did like an episode of like Wonder Years. She did like a bunch of TV show episodes. She was Madam Chachika on Fresh Prince. She was in Dragnet. There you go.
The movie or the show?
TV show.
Oh,
Nightingale's the movie. She did a couple episodes of Cheers. Honky Tonk Man. I mean, I'm personally not very impressed with her career. Not a lot of stuff for me personally.
yeah, I'm sure she had some kind of a career, but like not sound like anything that I really would give too much of a shit about.
Yeah. I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but I mean, like, what she played the old woman in the Animatrix. She played the old woman in Final Flight of Osiris. Like it seems like she's been the old woman for a very long time.
Typecasted as the old woman.
Yeah, I mean that has to make you feel fucking great about yourself.
Yeah, really.
Right?
I don't know why, but you feel older than I did yesterday.
Oh, he was Ron Howard's father. Oh, Rance Howard. Yeah, I can see the relation there. That's for sure. I mean, they look a lot alike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They really do. Especially like when you see the younger stuff about them. But, anyways, where was I? Oh, we got Michelle Landry in this episode. Also didn't do very much. We got Shadow Warrior 2, Lethal Weapon 3, Ricochet in this episode.
Denzel Washington.
Huh?
Ricochet, the movie with Denzel Washington and John Lithgow.
Yes. In Ice-T. Yeah.
She
played telethon worker.
Okay.
Big roles.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Andy says Beverly Hills Chihuahua was a masterpiece. I've heard it was.
I've never seen him.
I haven't either. But that's what she did. We also have Constance Wiggins in this episode. She plays the nurse. She did this episode. So there we go. That's it. Nothing else.
She was the nurse for like less than a minute. That's her.
Yeah,
that's her
in this only episode.
They didn't like her with the 4 seconds she was in the show, and she's just like, I'm just not good at this.
Right, basically. But you know that at least takes us to the major part of the cast and stuff. And don't get me wrong, there are other people in this episode, but they're not. It's weird because they're not even credited.
Right.
You know, none of them. And there's quite a few people at that party. Oh, excuse me. But you know, I mean, there's quite a few people at that party. Just a bunch of them. Just they're not. There's nothing there about them. No cast options. No credited. Not a damn thing.
Right.
So, anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this episode. Mr. Nasty, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about this episode?
Okay. Well, the beginning of the show, you find out that there's this snobby brat, basically, who has managed to take over his dad's old place, right? The property.
After murdering him.
Well, yeah. Well, you find that out. I was getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
But he's gotten this land or whatever, and he goes up to get a good look at it all, you know, whatever. There was a fire there. You find out at one point, and he has these little flashbacks where you find out that his dad cut him out of the wheel or whatever the fuck, or didn't leave him shit or whatever, and so he ends up killing him while he's in the hospital, and reclaiming what he thinks is his. And his dad's trying to tell him he's in the hospital. He's like, "I did it for your own good. You don't need to go to this place. This place is bad. Just stay away from it." And he ignores him, goes up to the land, and he is a bed and breakfast or something where the old woman is. Is that where he goes up to stay?
I don't know if it's a bed and breakfast. It looks like he had a room.
Okay, like an Airbnb before that was even a thing.
So a hotel.
Was it a hotel? What was it? And she, she's kind of like weird about like, oh well, the usual thing like, oh, you're staying at that place, or that's he's like, oh well, that was my dad's place. I own it now. And so he finds out that there's people and there's lights or whatever that he sees up there or some shit, and so he decides he wants to go up to the actual property and check it out himself. Upon going up there, he finds a shit ton of people in this burned up old place, and they look a little retro. So you kind of already know something weird's up, but whatever. And there's a girl in there he's flirting with and all this stuff, and she kind of like suckers him in. He's like bitching about everybody being in there, so he's like, call the cops. And she, like men are to gorgeous women, we have a tendency to just follow, and he kind of just forgets everything that's going on, and forgetting that how bad he just wants everybody gone and how big of a dickhead he is, because he wants to go get laid. So he ends up in this room, which can't forget about Jake Busey coming in. Before that, he gets pissed off because his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever, is like all like flirting with the old dude. And
what's this girl?
Well, yeah, well, I couldn't, because they almost act like I couldn't tell if it was a breakup thing or what, that kind of shit happens. But
oh no, when you're doing something with a chick and Jake Busey comes up and says that's my girl, I believe that is his girl.
That's right. He does go. Yeah, he does go to him.
Buseys don't lie.
Yeah. Well. It's I don't know about that one there, JB.
Okay, I'll take that comment back. Maybe Busey's lie.
But yeah, so he ends up going up and starting to fool around with this chick a little bit, and I can't remember. Oh, because they fool around a little bit, but there's a reason why he leaves the room and goes back downstairs. I'm drawing a blank why.
When they go upstairs?
Yeah.
All right, they go upstairs, they start fooling around. Jake Busey comes back in. Okay. And it starts a confrontation. Jake Busey's character goes and like pushes him against the wall, hits him a couple of times. So he goes and grabs a gun and shoots him and kills him. And then the girl starts flipping the fuck out.
So he suffocates or strangles her. Suffocates her, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's suffocation.
Yeah, suffocation. Yeah. And he tries to, he goes back down to the party or whatever, or because he tries to cover it up or something.
Well, he takes a little kerosene lantern and starts pouring the kerosene, which may first off say, from somebody who's used kerosene lanterns, that was a ridiculous amount of fuel that was in that thing.
Yeah, it's almost like it was a small gasoline tank, but it was just
like a fucking 5-gallon tank. And that thing's like probably holds like a 1/10 of a gallon.
Yeah,
but yeah.
He starts shaking that stuff all over the place because he's gonna catch it all on fire, and he leads he leads the massive amount of fluid everywhere down the stairs and everywhere to catch it on fire. And he turns around, looks around, and there's a bunch of like all the people that were there at the party, but they're all burned up, and they're all kind of
well as the people from upstairs.
Yeah, Jake Busey's a little like burned up, but he's fine. And the girl's there; she's a little burned up, but she's fine. And they all like he's trying to get out. They all come at him, and I'm like, doesn't he stand there for a fucking second before he even bothers trying to leave?
Oh yeah, he definitely stands there. They make a comment about how he has the same lighter his dad had,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
weird. But yeah, and then eventually they all start walking a little bit closer, and he like shoots past them all and still gets stopped, and he trips. So they drag him back in and douse him in gas, and then they burn him alive. And the next scene we see is the next day, and it's just a corpse just laying there, just one corpse,
yeah,
which is interesting. But
yeah.
anyways, I'll go ahead and I'll jump right into the comic book, which is actually, for this one, I'd say very, very similar. There's not a lot of big differences. The main difference that I can really say about this one is like our main character doesn't really know that he's inherited that particular property. What happens was this guy ends up going to a room, and he's just really, really bored staying there. So he asks the I wouldn't say landlord, but what would you call it? The attendant at the desk type thing. If there's something to do, and he's like, 6 miles away from here in the next town over, there's a movie house, so you can go watch movies. So he ends up going to find this place, ends up getting lost. Um, as he gets lost, he takes a wrong turn and ends up just coming right up to a house. So he goes and sees that there's a bunch of people now. So he's like, gonna go ahead and see if there's any way these people can give me directions. Come to find out, after being at this party for a few pages of this comic book, he realizes they're playing the same song over and over again. It's a costume ball, and they keep referencing, midnight. It's always the same thing, and he introduces himself, and when he introduces himself, that's when these people start to be like, "Oh, well, what happened was, this woman was about to get married, and it was between one person or another person, and because this person, he ends up sharing the same last name as the other person, they say, oh well, he was going to inherit this property because they were both Adams. Which, man, imagine that one for a second, especially if you have the last name Adams. There's a lot of you that are not related, and these ghosts are just like, fuck it, we're gonna kill all the Adams.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they these it was a little bit different the way it happened there, because like instead of these people just like becoming burnt, like these faces just like kind of like started melting before you, which is pretty fucking cool with the comic book. But I mean, basically still the same story. Just this guy had no idea that, I guess, of his technical family history, but it's still an interesting story nonetheless, and still kept pretty true to it. Um, I would say overall, between going with this and watching them both and really paying a lot of attention to it, I would actually probably give this episode probably about a 6.5, 7. I mean, it's not a bad episode whatsoever.
no, no, no,
It's
not at all. Actually,
it's actually kind of fun in a way. The practical effects are pretty good. The makeup's pretty good. There's just like a little bit of cheesiness, like
oh well,
you
yeah.
know, after he shoots Jake Busey's character and the lady's just in there screaming, it's like she should have stopped screaming. It's like, it's just a little hard to
You think
believe
Gary
some of
Busey
this,
used that same excuse?
huh?
You think Gary Busey used that excuse?
No, no. We all know he likes the screaming. I gotta stop. Fuck you, Chuck. Overall though, I'd say it was still a fun one. I really wouldn't say I would prefer either the comic book over this one though. I mean, I think this is one where they're similar enough where I can enjoy both of them for what they are.
Yeah,
Um, I will say though, with the comic book, there is a little bit of fun to that, which is pretty cool though. So, like I said, other than like the face melting part, which is just such a fun fucking look. We
yeah,
also get just still appearing in this episode of the comic book along with the Crypt Keeper, which is it's just a nice little thing that you don't really get to see too much, especially in this comic book. But I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's the first appearance as well. But here you go. For those who don't know, I'm sure you've seen her, especially if you checked out any of the EC stores. She's
yeah.
usually on buttons, pens, everything else. But still another really cool appearance that you get to see. And, For those that this is the first time of them seeing, some of the inside pages of a Tales from the Crypt thing, that there alongside of her is the Crypt Keeper from the comic book, which does look entirely different, and a lot of people are probably tuning out, like, I don't know who the hell that guy is, but
Yeah,
it's still something cool. What do you think of this episode, Chuck?
I like it. It's a it's a straight up Tales from the Crypt episode. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a classic Tales from the Crypt episode, if you will. Straight to the point, got a nice little twist to it. You've always got the main character's usually an asshole, and that he's gonna probably get what he deserves, you know.
yeah,
And the whole idea of because the comic book aspect of it when you're talking about it isn't bad either. I like the
yeah,
fact that they added the fact that in the episode itself that it was a whole inheritance thing or whatever instead of just being an accident. That way it gives a little bit more of it gives a little more flesh, I guess, if it's like, oh,
right.
well, So I like it though. I think it's straight to the point. There's not a whole lot of filler in it, and yeah, I think it's a good episode. So I would probably say, hmm, I mean, I give it a 6.
I understand. I mean, I
There's
think
not
it's
much
pretty
that goes
close to where I
on.
was.
There's not much that goes on. It's not too crazy, but there's just enough there where it's just like, okay, I don't hate the episode.
Right.
Especially we're getting into the episodes here soon that we really do hate. So yeah,
Yeah, you're not
I don't
wrong. I think IMBD gives this episode a 6.1,
okay.
which, I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, we've watched so much worse where it's like, don't get me wrong, to some people, a 6.1 is just a shit piece of movie, but I mean, we have watched things that were like twos and less than,
Yeah.
like, to a ridiculous point. But I mean,
Mhm.
it's always fun though, still, regardless. Anyways, man, what is it? The next episode we do is another interesting one. We are going to be going into Doctor of Horror, which has one of your favorite actors in it.
Who?
At least one of mine. I like him a lot. Hank Azaria.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Of
he's
course.
in it. Huh?
Simpsons fan.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ben Stein's in it as well.
Oh wow.
There's
Travis
also James Travis Tritt, who
Tritt?
yeah.
Okay, wait. I think I know what episode this is.
Do you? Do you?
I think maybe.
You might. You probably do. Doctor of Horror. But and I believe our friend Joe is going to be joining us for that episode, which is be a fun one too. She hasn't been on in a little while. Should be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
You know. Um, do you have anything else that you got going on this week, man? I mean, it's pretty fucking mellow week. I mean, don't have too much going on personally.
I mean, uh, Bastard Sons of Judas Goat. We've been recording, working on our new
Right.
release, and it's going great.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah, so hopefully we're actually going to put this will be the first release we put actually on CD too. So,
Oh,
so we've been working on that. Of course, Video Store Clerks on Wednesdays. Graveyard Talk with me and Whitman, and Nasty Nation. Um, yeah, and all that stuff. Just look it up in Google, or YouTube.
look it up in Google.
If you look up Bastard Sons of Judas Code on Google, you find all kinds of crazy shit. And then Videos for Clerks, and everything go on Facebook and find it there or whatever. Yeah, and that's. Oh, I did find out that the movie that the little 15-minute short film that we scored last year
Yeah.
before what that Killing Time.
Yeah.
I was told that it's getting a small release and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool, It's like a 15-minute long movie, that we were able to throw some throw some music down on it or whatever. So it's kind of cool. So there's that, you know.
That's more than a little cool. That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
You know, I will say that our band's doing just as good.
You got some music going on too. Yeah.
The for those who don't know, the much more popular and exciting legitimate Sons of a Jesus Pig, which total fucking spoof off of fucking Chuck's band. Been working on some music. I will say that I believe Chuck wants to rap over one of the songs.
I think I might rap over one of them. Yeah.
Oh my god, which don't get me wrong would be fucking great, and I hope to God it fucking happens. That's for damn sure. But I will say that I believe my my other buddy Perry.
Yeah, Perry.
He's taking a look at some of the stuff. I haven't heard back yet, but I know he was interested in working on a few of the tracks, so that should be fucking fun regardless.
Hell yeah.
You know, I'm excited to hear what Perry is able to do with that. That's for sure. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's not what you would expect from me.
Yeah, and Perry, he's a musician as well. So check out his band Star Control, and he's also in Desks, and yeah, gotta throw that out there. Love Perry.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Perry's good people. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Oh my god,
Oh, is that our tape?
Yeah, this is Bitterroot.
Yeah, yeah.
So for those who don't know, Chuck releases everything on cassette.
Not everything. We have put out a couple of cassettes. Yeah.
Yeah. That are 8-track. So if you have an 8-track player,
yeah,
you know,
no, it'd be interesting if we did that. But
what we need to do is put our two best songs together and do an A and B side and put out a split record.
Yeah,
and release one of my songs and one of your songs on vinyl.
I'd be cool.
People like $40 for 2 songs.
Man, there's a band around this way. They're called Belushi Speedball, and
Speedball.
They're like, you know who Dillinger Escape Plan was?
Dude, I'm a huge Dillinger fan.
Cool. Yeah, I thought you were. I love Dillinger.
Yeah. I love the shit they did with Mike too.
I love that album. But Belushi Speedball, they have kind of that same intensity, and they do really crazy releases, and they have released albums on. I don't know how they do this shit, but they've released albums on. They took Furbies, and they put the albums on the Furbies instead of the Furbies talking. You hear their entire album from the Furby. They've put albums on old school Nintendo cartridges and shit. Like, yeah, like they've released a lot of crazy ways to listen to their albums, and it's kind of cool, actually.
I don't know how I even feel about that, honestly. I mean, from somebody who's a Dillinger fan, first off, I have a hard time believing that somebody could put out something with that intensity.
Dude, like, go Belushi Speedball.
I'm gonna check him out, but you know as well as I do that Dillinger has a different kind of intensity that most people can't do.
Oh yeah, no, they were a special breed of band.
I miss them so much.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
they're not doing. Are you sure they're not doing anything?
No, they split up. The singer, he's been working and touring with Jerry Cantrell, doing some shit. I know that much. And I know that he also was working with Max Cavalera and from Soulfly and Sepultura and stuff, and on the Killer Be Killed stuff. It's a side project that they've been doing for a while. And then he had something else, and I can't remember what it was.
Which one did you say? Because he was doing
Killer Be Killed,
the Black Queen, Killer Be Killed. I know Weinman went on to do Suicidal Tendencies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a guitarist.
I didn't know that. Wow, that's okay. That's cool. Yeah. I like ST.
He's also the manager for Kimbra.
Okay.
What else? I know he was also playing. He does bass also for Devin Townsend, which a lot of people don't know.
Ah, that's cool as fuck.
But
I saw Devin Townsend one time. That motherfucker was one of the coolest guys to meet.
Oh,
and one of the craziest shows. Like he was fun. That's a fun one. You ever get a chance to go see Devin Townsend? That's a fun show.
right. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I mean, yeah, you're right. They're not. Damn, it sucks. I could have sworn that I don't know what was that one song they put out, like it was one of their last ones.
Uh,
Da, 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 da.
oh yeah. Uh,
Oh,
one
what the fuck is the name of that?
uh, that thing has that kind of that kind of yeah. It's a very like Mike Patton like Faith No More type sounding song. It's like goddamn the air I try to breathe. Yeah, I can't fucking remember. I love that fucking song though.
Tears right through me.
Right.
Yeah,
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 okay,
yeah.
we're on the same page.
I can't think of the name of it. It's you know what? It's on One of Us is the Killer.
One of Us is the Killer. That's the name of the fucking song.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
for
yeah.
some reason, I keep thinking that came out like a year ago, even though it didn't. I'm just getting so old, I forget how long it came out.
Man, I'm the same way with shit too. I do the same thing with stuff.
So when you were like that, I'm like, man, I don't know, man. Like, I remember hearing that they quit doing it, but then I was like, but that song, man, that song's new. But apparently, new for me is when did that come out?
Man, I'm the same guy that like
I'm
something
about
could
to
have
be really
happened 20 years
embarrassed. Yeah,
ago.
because that came out 2013. So new for me was 9 years ago.
God. Yeah, man, I didn't realize it was that long that they put that out, but yeah, I guess that would make sense.
It feels
Well,
like it was fucking new though, compared to like especially if you're a Dillinger fan, because it's like, I mean, they've been
one,
around for a very long time, for real.
one of my favorite performances, that TV performances from them, was the Revolver Velvet. Shit.
Velvet
Uh,
Revolver.
it was Revolver's Golden God. Yeah, I kept wanting to say Velvet Revolver. Yeah, Revolver Golden God Awards, and um, they went up there and played 3 songs. And within the first like 5 seconds, the lead singer guy, I can't remember his fucking name, but like he ends up busting his head open. He's bleeding the rest of like the set. He's jumping all over the place.
Greg,
Yeah,
P,
Bacano or
Picado.
Bacalo.
Yeah,
Yeah, something like that. But
yeah.
then they after they were doing their crazy shit or whatever, he's spitting blood everywhere and all that stuff. Chino from Deftones comes out and they cover a Depeche Mode song, and it's so badass, like how they do it, and it's funny because at the end of the song, it's the end of their little set on the Golden Gods, and Chino's like, because they're kind of like starting to like do that whole uh, swelling of the cymbals, and it's all crazy and psychotic. Everybody's throwing stuff around, and Chino's like, "All right, I'm out of here." And that's when Duder starts fucking doing the spit and fire, and he starts fucking like they just break shit or whatever. It's a funny clip. I mean, yeah, go check that shit out. It's
A
cool.
lot of things that was just, man, that whole time in life was so much better. And I will say, nobody can take hardcore fucking like heavy fucking music like Dillinger did and do a jazz breakdown like that and make it as fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like just like it's like, yeah, you listen to it, it's like, oh yeah, they had a jazz breakdown, and just hearing that we say that doesn't mean shit. When you go back and listen to it, it's not like, oh, a little jazz breakdown. The whole song turns into like a fucking old school jazz song for like 30 seconds. And it's like,
yeah, man,
worked
yeah.
in so well, different timing. I mean, not too many people could do the shit that they pulled off.
No, dude, they had their own style. Like when you listened to Dillinger, you knew it was Dillinger. And
Yeah.
so you were talking about the album that they did with Mike Patton. One of my favorite covers of all time is them doing "Come to Daddy" from Apex.
Really?
I think it's one of the coolest things.
Didn't they, God damn, I'm trying to think of, they did I think one of them that I really liked is, I don't care for the song at all, but they covered that, Like I Love You.
Like I love you. Who originally does it?
God damn it, who's the one that does the original? Um, let me see here. Yeah, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, okay, all right.
So,
I don't know if I've heard the version of that. That's kind of funny. I need to check
no?
it out. I don't. I might have, but well,
That was one I saw live, man. That had to have been because I saw it live. So with Mike Patton, that had to have been like what 01, 02? I think 02.
yeah. Did you say you saw them with Mike Patton?
Yeah,
God damn you! Yeah, that's. I would have liked to see them do the Mike.
I'm pretty sure that had to have been like 02, right? It
That
was like
sounds about
01 or
right.
02.
Yeah, I love the fact that how that album even came about.
I,
Because they were
it's still
they were.
fucking insane that it even fucking happened. I mean,
Oh, I know, dude, and it's so
like
good. I listen to it all the time. It's good shit.
it's
I'm
just
a
it's
huge
such
Mike
a
Patton
weird one. Like who would have thought like especially cuz when you first start off listening to that band like you don't start off with the Mike Patton album. You
fan. No,
find out about the Mike Patton album. And it's
yeah,
like what the fuck is this? It's like how did they come in contact with fucking Mike Patton of all people?
I don't know, man. Like I'm pretty jealous that you saw it live. I've seen the clips from because they. I guess it was. I guess it was right around the time they were getting ready to break up or whatever. They did like a reunion show. They went and they were doing a few shows where Mike Patton was singing, doing. Then they did the whole album, the whole thing like from front to back. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I've always been a huge Mike Patton fan too. I mean, I don't know. I went to a lot of fucking shows back in the day, man. It's
I've always loved Mike Patton, and then when I saw him with Tomahawk open up for Tool in West Virginia,
right.
uh, my
I
love,
never
my
got to see Faith No More though, which is a
dude.
bummer.
I'm gonna tell you, I was supposed to go to that last Faith No More tour because they
Go
were gonna be
fuck
in
yourself.
Cincinnati. Well, I was supposed to go. My buddy Jason had tickets for us and everything, and
When
because
was
of
that?
COVID, it was when COVID happened, and that's when Mike Patton was having kind of a mental breakdown from all the shit. And
I think Mike Patton's had a few mental breakdowns.
well, yeah, but this one, like, he got really paranoid. He wouldn't do interviews for a minute. He wasn't touring with any of his projects, all this stuff. And it's like,
Right.
God damn it, man, because Faith No More, like, is that's one of my up here bands, man. Like one of those bands like I've never got a chance to see, and I was so fucking close, man, so fucking close to seeing them, and then canceled. It's like fuck,
Oh, I mean,
you know. But I mean, shit
what can you
happens. It was a
do?
weird time, you know, with everything going on, and you know, paranoia and anxiety get the best of us. I know this shit, so
You're not wrong. That's for damn sure.
yeah,
But I mean, he's yeah, I fucking love Mike Patton. But
all good.
anyways, yeah, we should probably go ahead and get out of here. I mean, we've definitely trailed off and got into a weird realm that I don't think a lot of people are going to understand. But if you are listening still and checked all this out, I mean, really go back, check out Dillinger. I mean, if
Yeah,
nothing else, I mean, you're
and
not going to
also
really waste that much of your time on it.
no, and also the Belushi Speedball. What I wanted to say back during when COVID was a thing and shows weren't happening and all that, they went driving around Kentucky and a few other places in a van, and they had it set up to where they had a drum set, the bass, like they had all the amps, whatever, and they had the van, the door wide open, and the lead singer had a megaphone, and they were just going driving around, just fucking doing like travel concerts, and it was like some cool shit. Like they always bring a pretty big ass crowd too. I have not ever, sadly, never got to see them live, but I know people that have seen them live. I've seen clips of them. They're pretty wild, so check them out too. They're good shit.
Very, very cool, guys. Well, I guess that's it for us, man. Like I said before, check out our comic book. Check out Bastard Sons of a Judas Go. Check out the legitimate Sons of a Jesus Pig. Check out House Mysterious Secrets. All of our other sponsors. If not, go fuck yourself, and is what it is. But for everybody else, thank you for watching. We love you so much, and the crypt is closed.
Whoa.